My name is Edward Deats, and I was the chief hospital corpsman, E7 on the Nimitz. You were asked to, if you wanted to go to a school, and I said yes. My uncle was a Navy corpsman, and I followed in his footsteps, and I wanted to go to corps school. That was my goal, and so they'll pretty much they got openings. They'll pretty much agree. I couldn't go into the new program because my test scores weren't geared to that. But no problem with being a corpsman. I had 8 aunts and uncles, 4 boys, 4 girls. My mom was one of them. My Uncle Frankie was the youngest of 8. Well, there was 9. My grandmother lost a child at 2 years old. And so there was actually 9. There was actually 5 boys and 4 girls. My Uncle Frankie went in the Navy. Wound up not retiring, but getting out of the Navy in California, and that's where he stayed the rest of his life until he passed away. I always looked up to my Uncle Frank, being the youngest. There was only like 10 years difference in our ages, so I always looked up to him. And so I said, yeah, I'm going to go to the Navy, and I'm going to be a corpsman too. And after boot camp, I went back home for 30 days leave, and I went back to Great Lakes because I was going to hospital corps school there. So I did the next 3 months there at the hospital course in Great Lakes. Oh, I learned a lot of things in corps school, they teach you basic medicine, they teach you epidemiology, they teach you about bugs, and they teach you about how to change bedpans, how to give immunizations, how to treat wounds, oh my gosh, how to treat colds and things like that. Your basic medicine. Being a corpsman, unless you're on independent duty, you treat most of the basic things that come in, colds, rashes, things like that. But if it gets more complicated, you got to get them in to see the doctor. So I did the next 3 months there at the hospital course in Great Lakes. From there, my first duty station was Naval Hospital, Bethesd, Maryland, where I worked on the general surgical ward. And the majority of people on the ward were Marines and Navy personnel coming back from Vietnam. And our second most common people were people with pilonidal cysts. I don't know if you know what that is. It's kind of like a big boil on the back of your butt, right up butt. And so that was funny. So we either had guys laying on bed on their backs, or we had the guys laying in bed on their stomachs. After Bethesda, I was there for approximately 6 months. I had volunteered to go to Vietnam, and so they took me and sent me to Camp Shields down at Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, Marine Corps base. And when I graduated, 2 months later, when I graduated from FMF school there, they sent me to California, to the MCAS El Toro. And I was with the 3rd Marine Air Wing, which the MCAS El Toro was disbanded, closed back in the Clinton era. So from there, I went to Vietnam.